Hello and welcome. We are just minutes away from the opening game, one of the opening games in parallel of the 2021 Baltic Cup. This game is Latvia versus Estonia A. Earlier, Latvia won the toss and elected to bowl first, so it will be Estonia A that opens the batting in a minute's time. So here come the opening pair for Estonia A, Hodayan Patanka and Nand Lal. I was going to go for a middle name but couldn't pull it off.
It's right, not Lal.
So both very experienced batsmen. Nand incredibly experienced, he's been around the Estonian scene for some time. The Latvian team are expected to be one of the, it's hard to have favourites in a four-team competition, but they are expected to be a very, very strong side. Last year's tournament, it did come down to, I believe, Latvia versus the Estonia full squad. There are, of course, two teams from Estonia to make the four-team format. This game features Estonia A. The Estonia team is the main team. But the Estonia A team does feature several players from the national team squad as well. So it'll be Surya from Latvia opening the bowling. He has very, very strong figures in the local competition. I understand him to be a quite lively, quick bowler, but we'll see what happens.
Come on!
Hey?
He's the right age and shape at least, so he's starting well.
We do welcome you to wherever you're following this coverage from around the world. We do apologise in advance for the relative knowledge. We know a lot about the Estonian cricket scene and not as much about Latvia and Lithuania, but we look forward to learning about that over the coming days. So, first ball, watched. So it does answer the first question that he is quite lively as expected. He does have very strong figures in the local Latvian competition. I'm not sure if he's the leading wicket taker, but he's certainly very, very high up there. So it's Diane on strike to the second ball. And that one is through him. But I keep talking as per live action. Yep. So Surya to continue. Almost a carbon copy delivery. So outside off, he's certainly beating Udayan or worrying Udayan for pace at the moment. He is a cautious opener, Udayan. He likes to see a few balls before he starts playing some shots, but when he finds his groove, he can be quite a powerful batsman. That one's well watched, and it is in fact a wide. Sorry, make sure you signal it. Surya to continue. Oof. So Diane does go after that one, but he is deceived. There could be a bit of movement. We've got a little bit of breeze coming across Tiskra. So Tiskra cricket ground's about 20 kilometres west of Tallinn, the capital of Estonia. It is quite an open ground, and you do get wind coming across it. So, ooh, shorter delivery. Diane defends well, but no one in close for Latvia. So yes, as I was saying, you will get that wind across the ground, which can aid the bowlers early on while the ball's still hard and shiny. A little bit of lateral movement off through the air, but also off the deck. So a good over so far for Latvia. They'll be happy with this in terms of the economy, perhaps hoping to see one or two more deliveries test the batsman. But at least we've had a first look at Surya and his lines and approach. So consistent off-stump line there.
Not many out on the leg side, one covering on the offside, so he's certainly got to plan his bowling too.
Yeah. So ask our expert proximal commentator Tim Cross if there's a term for a maiden where it's spoilt by a wide or any other extras. Is there a term for that?
Stupidity. Score?
1.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to get the info out.
So a strong first over from Latvia. Nandria takes strike for Estonia A. Waiting to find out the new bowler for Latvia. And it is harsh. Yeah. Harsh to continue. So little had the batsman in some difficulty there, had him hopping around the crease, possibly around the hip region, so not sure if that's moved through the air or Nand's not quite got the eye in yet. So a slower bowler, but able to vary pace as we've seen with that third delivery, a lot quicker than the second one. By the guess, you'd say he's an experienced cricketer. And speaking of experienced cricketers, I think we've got one about to hop in and join me in co-commentary. So welcome, Priyank.
Thank you.
A lively start for Latvia.
Lovely start. I think good weather, good conditions, beautiful looking ground, and I think seeing some great start from Latvia.
It really is impeccable ground conditions. The grounds team were out working earlier, and this is it's almost marble perfect carpet. So Land opens the shoulders, and that's the first boundary of the day.
Lovely shot on the back foot, waiting for the ball to come in with the pace of the bowler. He's absolutely smashed it over mid-off.
He is short in stature, but he's a very strong batsman, and tremendously experienced. He's been around the Estonian cricket scene for a decade or so.
Yeah, I signal him like that he didn't. No, but after he gives the boundary, every time.
He gives the signal.
Harsh runs in again.
Ooh.
That's a catch.
So a big chance there. We're only in the second over, and a chance to dismiss one of the Estonia A power hitters goes begging. A gettable catch, you'd say, Priyank.
Yeah, I think I think he looked like he was deceived for pace. Checked his shot at the end, went in a little early, looked it. Unfortunately, in the mid of it, that was rabbit.
So we saw from side view, we're sitting side on here, but the energy in the Latvian slip cordon, just on that little half chance of a run, there was about 5 racing in, so a really great energy in the field. They'll be disappointed with an early drop, but no shoulders dropping at this stage. a better over for Estonia A, 5 off that one.
Interesting over. A lot happened there. A boundary, a drop catch, some good bowling. We are at 6 for no loss after 2 overs from Estonia A.
It will be interesting to see as the tournament unfolds the relative depth in all the squads. It's Surya to continue. Ooh, straight through the batsman. Beaten for pace.
Surya is working up some good pace here. It's something which, with the wind blowing away from him, should be giving him some good movement going away from the right hander. Quite helpful. With such conditions, with unknown teams, what do you reckon is a good score in the power play at least?
Yeah. Surya continues, and that's clipped away just for the single. Yeah, it's a good question. So first 6 overs, the fields are restricted. I mean, you'd want perhaps a score of 40-50, I'd say.
I think the important thing would be to not lose too many wickets.
Mm.
I think a captain would take probably 36, 40, but wickets in hand could really work. Quick single there. Ooh,
So-
that was close. That's some good fielding. From the
So,
fielders.
good cricket all round there. It was a nicely played stroke. The call was early and clear, and Adayan would have been tight if it was a direct hit, but he does make his ground. So he's off the mark.
That would give him some confidence. Here comes Surya again at this time. It's the outside edge again. Nand went after it.
Yeah, Nand opened the shoulders on that one. So we've seen him signal his intentions of how he plans to bat today. But that is his game to a degree. It's not quite tortoise and the hare out there, but Udayan not as flashy a batsman perhaps as Nand.
This one's down the leg side, and the umpire calls it wide. We're seeing some good energy even outside the field with the guys cheering every quick single, or on the other side a direct hit which would have probably been a little tighter. It's great to see. First day of the tournament, and we have some great energies around. Should be a really fun tournament.
Nand goes again. There's a man coming in.
Ooh,
Oh.
and again, that was a good effort. He's dropped it, and the batsman did a couple of runs.
So living on the edge, Nandria, but fortune favours the brave on these pitches. They are very, very large ovals at Tiskra. It's terrifying. They're very, very large ovals, and you do get a lot of edges, chances that fall safe. And in that instance, there was a man there, but it was a difficult opportunity.
Yeah. Score is 12 runs after 3. 12 runs after 3 overs. Some good bowling there from the Latvian bowlers. Unfortunate to have not got a wicket yet. Not holding on to a couple of catches. Estonia A team, meanwhile, would like to get a move on from here. I think they've had their share of luck. Nand living on the edge with a couple of drop catches, and I'm guessing they'd like to capitalize on it now.
Yes, we saw a very watchful first over from Uday, and he did take the effectively a maiden with a wide thrown in from Surya, but he will look to expand his batting strokes from here.
One wide, one leg by one. Harsh to continue meanwhile, and this time Udayan walks down track, misses the ball, but it's a wide. Get it, but beyond line. This
So-
one's short. This one's short. The fielders under
Oh,
it.
dearie
And
me.
it's another drop catch.
So we've identified perhaps the Achilles heel on the Latvian side. That's 3 drop catches and at least 2 of them very, very gettable.
Very terrible, yep.
That I actually thought that was going to fly to the boundary, but it must have been not much bat on it. It did seem to hold up. Maybe that was into the wind.
Also the pace, maybe didn't take it too far. But none continues to live in pitch.
It'll be interesting because the local batsmen, so we are at the home ground of the Estonian Cricket League that plays here, the Bluff VPN T20 and a T40 competition as well. So the Estonia A will be very familiar with these local conditions and the pitch conditions, and the general consensus is you try not to bowl short on this pitch.
Yep, that's correct.
But we've seen a few short balls, and that one was well executed from Latvia, so it'll be interesting to see if the Estonia A batsman can handle the short ball. Not a lot of it's thrown around on the weekends here.
I think the variation in length is interesting from the bowlers, and I'm guessing the Latvian team would be happy so far with what they've done. Another short one. This one's a touch wide, and then this is it. Then seems to be struggling a bit. One run of 10 balls, not getting enough bat on ball.
Must have been. I did think that one had to be wide for him to have not got it, but we'll wait and see. But maybe there's just something's not picking up the pace, not picking up the bounce.
14, right? 14, right? Yeah, 14.
14.
14. 2 more, 2 remaining, 2.
Yeah, 2 remaining.
Some confusion in the middle. The number of deliveries, and we are good to start again. As has a false start. He runs it again.
So that one is wide. So very, very intriguing. We saw a mixed over last time from Harsh. This one does seem to be more consistent in terms of the line and the length. It's short and it's wide. He's run that risk with the wide channel twice now, and it's not quite paid off. But he persists and he beats a die-in once. So whether they've identified, I don't imagine they've been scouting the local scene or coming up with bowling plans, but whether they've identified a weakness in the batsman, they are successfully probing outside off.
And he surely worked up his pace. I don't think he was bowling as quick in the first over, but he had a gentle first over, and he's working up the pace now.
Hopefully it'll never happen to you, Priyank, but when you get to a certain vintage, that's whether you want it or not, that seems to be how how we bowl.
Yeah, we start and end at the same pace, probably drop it a bit. That's a no ball called by the umpire. Quick single. There's a direct hit, there's a massive appeal. The umpire's looking at it. Nothing there. So quick single and a free hit coming up with Nand on strike. What do you reckon, Richard?
I reckon he'll go for it. So that was a better stroke by Udayan. If we think about that one, he didn't seem to throw the bat as hard. He just guided that one, and he got the single. So the bonus of the no ball. We'll see what Nand makes of this.
Yeah, so the field can change because batsmen change strike. Here comes Harsh. Short one, and looks like Nand thought it's a wide, but it isn't. So he left it, and that's the end of the 4th over. So 17 for no loss after 4 overs.
So you wouldn't say he shouldered arms there, but certainly didn't go after a free hit. And looking at we've got a slight delay on the vision, so we can actually treat it like a replay. It wasn't that wide, that one. So curious from the batsman, but very, very good start for Latvia. 17 on the board after 4 overs. They'll be happy with that. Boys, can we get someone on score on the updating?
Overboard.
Yeah.
Kosi 17.
43 off how many?
4.3.
Who's batting, Filer?
Tyler and Alex.
Oh wow.
We just took a quick update from the other game, which is Estonia versus Lithuania. 43 for no loss after 4 overs. Pretty good start for Estonia. We have a bowling change here. That's Chetia Ikanaike coming in for his first over.
Spinner? Off spinner. Okay, we've got some inside intel from the Latvian camp. Off spinner is Chitaya. Have you seen much of Hadayan in the local competition? Do you know if he's a better player of spin than pace, or any preferences?
Haven't seen, to be sure, to make a comment, but oh, that's a quick single again. None wanted that single, and he's come across quickly for that one.
Incredibly quick between the wickets there.
Yeah.
He's a veteran of the Estonian cricket scene, but he made that single look very easy there.
Yeah.
So, as you say, anticipating and wanting hungry for the strike.
For the strike, yes. Here comes Chetia again. This
Ooh.
one is.
There's a man coming round, and he does take it.
Easily taken at the boundary. It's a good catch, and none departs for 9 of 13 balls.
So a decent connection, but he was reaching. He was reaching for it a little bit, and I don't know if that's into the wind, if it held up a touch.
Yeah.
But the fielder made good ground and took that very nicely.
It was a very nice, calm, easy catch at the boundary, especially under that pressure of having dropped 2-3 already. I think they surely wanted this one, and good, nice hands at the boundary. None comes back for 9 of 13. And in comes Rifak.
Tell us a little bit about this batsman, Priyank. You know him from the local scene?
From whatever I've seen, he's a fantastic batsman. Surely can hit the ball on the leg side. And I think we'll only wait for the viewers to see themselves if he hits a good knock today.
I do apologise for the James Bond background. There's a helicopter pad just next to the Tiskra field, and someone's doing donuts, so we've got plenty of visits from the helicopters. Hope that's not interrupting your audio. So an instant effect with the change of bowling. The spinner comes on, and 1 for 1 for Chitaya off 2 deliveries.
I think good line straight away. I think he bowled one which was a good length ball, punched on the offside. Second one tosses it up a little more, not to stretch for it, and gets the wicket. Maybe taking the pace off, going a little slow might be the trick today.
Let's see what Rifak makes of this, if he watches a few first or goes after it.
Oh, and that's the first one, sir.
Oi.
Just
Yeah.
Rifak starts off with a boundary. That looked like a very good shot.
I was going to say that answered my question very quickly. Is he watchful, or is he? I think he just plays how he sees it, Rifak. And that one was very, very close to a 6. I think it was a few
Centimeters short.
Yep. It did look inside the rope, but I think that was the correct call. Yep.
So Rifak starts off with a boundary. No pressure there. Comes Chetia again. This time it's a length ball.
So that's the more watchful.
That's the more watchful Rifak.
Don't need feet if you got hands like his, Crossy. But it's a heavy bat he's got out there. I know it reasonably because he borrowed it off me. So if he's moving it quickly, it uses up all my excuses for the rest of the season. Chitaya to continue.
But to your point earlier, not sure if they've studied our batsmen or not, but they've got a decent field in there. They've got one at Cow Corner, they've got one at Long On with the offie. But I think that's a perfect field in the power play.
Well, it's good as you can do for a spinner in power play, isn't it? So that's why I was a bit surprised they. Oh, the zingers are a little up over there.
Is that Filer? Yeah. Okay.
This one's hit straight down the ground and
Oh.
well fielded at the boundary. Excellent work there. Rifaq wanted the second run, but Udayan was happy with the single. So got a single there. Excellent work in the deep by the fielder at long on. Great stop. And that's the end of
Rifaq
the
will
over.
claim he was counting the
Yeah. So I think interesting conversation happening with the batsman. Rifaq was screaming at his other batsman, saying he wanted two there, and I think Udayan was more conscious of it being the end of the over and said, "Mate, I'm saving you for yourself." So Rifaq back on strike on the fresh over.
23 for 1 after 5 overs. One more over to go in the power play. We've got a bowling change over here. Prasad is the new bowler. Looks like right arm medium.
Tell you what, if I was a medium, I'd be coming off about 4 steps. This man's got a ambitious run in for a medium. We'll see what he does.
See what it does. Yeah. Isn't that the beauty of this competition? You know about the neighboring countries, the Baltic countries, but play cricket together. You get to know what kind of cricket is happening there. Oh, interesting action.
Yeah.
There. There's
Very.
a bit of a mix-up in the middle.
Ooh.
Shy at the stumps. Rifaq took off late, but he made it eventually. So good quick single.
The bowler's not got too many favours from his fielder. The fielder's absolutely wanged that at him from about 4 metres, and the bowler's put his hands to it. And I tell you what, I wouldn't have been fielding that one delivery into a spell. He's got some smarting hands, you'd say now, but in he comes. Dying around the corner. Fielder comes in swiftly and prevents the quick single. So these two haven't quite worked out their running. A few nervy, not sure calls, but that pressure does come from the field. Tell us a bit more about that action, Priyank. It's a curious one.
Curious one. I think he starts off pretty well.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit of a hop somewhere just around the umpire, and there's a quick shake of shoulders and a bit of a bend, and then I think he comes in really quick. I think the arm speed is pretty quick at the end, which could be deceiving at times. And if you are disturbed, or if you can't pick the bit of that thing that he does, could really work as an advantage.
Tell you what, it would distract me if I was batting, so thankfully not today. Mani Prasad continues. That one is down leg side, so wide signal.
Well kept by the keeper over there. You wouldn't want to bowl one down the leg side when the keeper's standing right up.
It's a good point. We're still inside power play, so no safety man on the boundary. If keeper misses it, it could be a risk of 4.
This one's a wide outside off. What I'm really impressed about right now is the energy that we've seen on the field.
Yep.
Cheering every bowler, attacking the ball for the single, making the batsman nervous.
Yep. Very vocal and great energy in the field, as you say. But as we said, this is what we expect. It's the Baltic Cup. It is 3 nations that are very excited about cricket. Latvia happy to come here to take on 2 Estonian sides. Dying off the hip for another single. So you'd say, Latvian captain, you'd still take that at this rate?
In a 2020 game, you'd take that. Maybe they would have. You would have probably hoped for fielders to hold on to a couple of more catches, but I think you'd take that. This one's a massive hit from Rifaq. That's deposited over mid-wicket for a massive 6.
Did he just break my bat?
Yeah, it's not the bat, is it?
Yeah. He's looked at the toe of the bat and it's given me a scare.
Massive hit there from Rifaq. Like they say in our local league, don't bowl on his pads.
Yeah.
The fielder's looking for the ball.
So if the Latvian scouts hadn't been watching the local league or hadn't been running the video, they do know now. That is meat and drink to this guy. Rifaq is one of the stronger hitters in the competition, and he's picked that one up nicely off the leg line. Put it. Well, we've got three fielders chasing behind a log to try and find it, so it's gone well past the boundary.
There we have the Estonian team marking to help the Latvian team find the ball. This is great spirit. Got a couple of spare balls, so we might wait for a couple of minutes before we start with the spare one.
It's an interesting one. If I'm looking at the two spares on the table here, you'd say they're 15, 20 over balls at the very minimum. So I don't know if I was the Latvian team, if you didn't find this one, I don't think I'd be happy changing a 6 over ball for a 15.
For their benefit, they found the ball. So
Yeah.
I think all good at the end.
So let's see what Vani Prasad does to respond to that. First 6, I want to say of the tournament. I'm not sure what's happened on the other field so far, but at least the first 6 of this game.
We had some loud cheers, so I guess that was a wicket of Tim Fowler, but might be worth checking.
So Vani Prasad continues to Rifaq Khan. Outside off, and it's slapped away for a single. Ooh.
One hurried on to the batsman.
It was a touch casual. He had the shy, and he had a little bit more time, the fielder, to really line that up. But if it was a direct hit, then Rifaq would have been short. So they're chancing a little bit with the running, but I'd say Rifaq's probably counting the balls now and realising he needs to dominate the strike. So some insights from the Estonia A captain Tim Cross passing by. Reasonably happy, a steady start.
Yeah, one down in power play is always acceptable, but a run a ball, average.
Yep.
Looks a lot worse if you're 2 or 3 down. On balance, I'll probably take that.
So that's the end of the power play. 34 for 1.
This one's a little bit later. This
Fine,
one is
yeah.
like I don't know, 30 seconds or a minute later than the actual game.
Yes, so
Oi.
good start from Chetia again. Looked like a juicy full toss. Rifaq missed it, and
He doesn't like missing those. A slow full toss, and he's really wound up. Pretty certain actually I bowled him with one of those, and it was certainly not intentional. So it's a chink in his armoury. The eyes do light up sometimes, and more watchful from a Diane. You told a Diane it's T20, yeah?
so what's the field that we've got here? A deep mid wicket, long on, long off, and we've got ones at sweeper cover. This one down the leg side. Wide called by the umpire.
So he is asking some questions, the off spinner, Chitaya. You got the wicket of Nand. Now Patanka winds up. Just the single there. But good to see a bit more intent from the batsman. He's settled in well. For
Off 19s, I think he'd really want to take move on from here. He's got a decent field ahead of the stump, but I think not a lot behind, so he might want to target that. Pick the ball early or sweep it. This one's a massive shot. What a huge hit from Rifaq. In his slot, straight over Longon's head. It's a massive hit.
He really is a one-of-a-kind batsman, Rifak. You get batsmen who they've been prepping for the game on Saturday or Sunday from about Monday, and they're very focused and they're very, tense or nervous when they arrive at the ground. But he's a very calm and a relaxed character. So much so that he's rocked up, without a bat today. And we had the conversation. Well, what type of bat should he use? And some of the other boys said, look, just a piece of wood. He literally just only needs a piece of wood. So he certainly showed his intent. 19 off 9, and that's what Estonia A needs. They need someone to lift the run rate, to put the pressure back on Latvia. And let's see how Chataya responds.
This one's behind square. Nice. Couple of runs there, just wide of short fine leg. End of the over, we've got 46 for 1 after 7 overs. And 46 for 1. Happy skipper there.
So a key few overs now that the power play is finished, and this is I started the point earlier in the commentary about this tournament will be a lot about depth. So we know that Surya is a very, very dangerous bowler. He might be one of the better bowlers in the competition. We know that Estonia A has a couple of decent batsmen, a couple of decent bowlers, a strong bowling lineup, I'd say, for Estonia A. But it really is that second, third change that in a T20 tournament where if your fifth or your sixth bowler isn't quite there, then it could really be some costly overs. So we'll see how deep Latvia bowl. Certainly from what we've seen so far, it's been very tidy, very disciplined.
Yep. And they've got their keeper, I think, who's come on to bowl now, and then there's a change in keeper behind the stumps.
So it's actually the keeper bowling. Wow. I bet he captains his local side. That's a classic captain move.
Yep. We've seen a few here.
Bats, bowls, keeps, tries to umpire. Yeah. But yes, let's see how Sahan goes.
Let's check if we've got some comments here in the comment section. We've got someone who always is quite choppy in the comment section. Kush. Short one. Smash through covers for a boundary. Rifak's looking really good out there.
So really nice from Rifak, and also showing his strength outside off stump. He's split two fielders perfectly with that one. Didn't race to the boundary, but it was more than enough for the men coming round. So pressure on Sahan. Oh, and he responds with a very, very short delivery.
Called wide by the umpire. Let's hear it from people who are watching us on the stream. You can tell us where you're watching from. We'd like to have a quick chat with you.
And now down wide, leg side wide. So Sahan has been rattled by the early aggression of Rifak. And this is the point we're making about the depth in the bowling. If you've got 5, 6, 7 very, very good bowlers, you stand to go a long way in this tournament. And it's incredibly short and wide again. Shout out to our lead umpire out there today, Andras Burgert, who is a veteran of the Estonian cricket scene, a former wicketkeeper for the national team. And if for anyone who followed the ECN tournament last year, he was our expert co-commentator. Very, very knowledgeable, very passionate about his cricket, and doing a fine job so far out there in the middle as the umpire. Slower delivery there, and Rifak winds up, but perhaps not waiting for it. So the change of pace could be the option against Rifak.
I think mixing it up is always a great idea.
Play a bit more aggressively.
Just getting his eye in, is he?
Yeah.
Ball start. Hold that again.
Tim, are there any more chairs in the container?
I don't think so. I'll have a check, but
That's some great fielding there.
Definitely no run there. That's
Good call.
Yeah.
Actually.
but again, tremendous pace in the field as well. But the field is really charged in. Even if it was half a chance, it was certainly no chance by the time he got there.
Okay, one more wide.
So Sahan struggling to find his line. We've been very disciplined so far from Latvia. Only a few extras here and there, but this is starting to creep up now.
Vicky, only one with 3 legs on trying.
One with 3 legs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good hit on the bounce to the fielder at deep mid wicket.
So very much in the groove for Rifak down the ground. Be disappointed to get one there, but still moving along at a decent score.
We've had a few extras.
There comes Sahan again. This one's a full toss.
That one's full and a die and does put it away, but a man coming around.
Good fielding at the boundary again.
Spot 2 there if you push the arm.
So Rifat back on strike. We've got a pretty standard field.
So
This
still-
one's wide outside off again.
So still 10 off the over, and with that wide 11 so far. So
Strong leg side field.
starting to become a little bit costly for Latvia. Oh, that's gone high though.
in the air.
Is there anyone coming around
Fielders
underneath
coming
it?
under it, and he's taken that catch. So Rifak makes his way back.
Well, perfect response for the bowler. We say becoming expensive, but you take 11 runs in an over if it ends in a wicket. So, and a big wicket for Estonia A. That is perhaps their most explosive batsman, you might say, in this batting lineup. Until Tim Cross comes in, of course, the captain. Doesn't fancies him.
In all the different regions.
Known as a bowler, Estonia's leading all-time wicket taker, notched over 100 wickets earlier this season, but can swing the bat as well. Did you break it?
Good knock there from Rifak.
Jishan go.
Ali Z.
Ali Jishan.
Zihan Ali. Yeah, sorry.
So Zihan Ali is the new batsman, and he is also pretty handy.
He got a nice 70 last weekend.
Yep.
Good technique.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I want to see what he does against
Now, is he with the Talon Falcons team in the domestic competition? Yeah, he is. Okay, so
I think new for them this year, but
uh-huh.
reminds me of like Sachin who used to play for the Man United side.
Uh-huh.
He's very good technically, nice strike player.
Okay, so a technically sound batsman.
Hopefully not cursed.
Yeah, yeah. We're getting some. I'm not sure if you can pick it up on the audio, but we're getting some advice from the Estonia A captain Tim Cross, telling us a little bit of detail about Zeshan Ali, the new batsman out there. But in warm-up, he does look a technically very solid batsman.
Chetia comes back again.
Ooh.
Beats him outside the off straight away.
First blood to the off spinner.
We are at 57 for 2 after 8 overs. Chetia is up for his 3rd over. The Latvian team is still pretty vocal in the middle.
That's nicely played around the corner.
Ran the first one hard, good to see.
So I'm intrigued now to see what Udayan does. We have seen him get some decent scores in the local competition. I don't know that he's an explosive batsman. He is quite a cultured stroke player. So, but he is very experienced. He's having a good look at the field, so he's working out where his runs are. But I'd like to see whether or not he can step up and be the lead batsman out there now. He's seen a few balls, so he's had a chance to settle in.
I think that's where this contest now is going to be really interesting, because Latvia would feel that they'll always have a chance at a wicket, because Uday might want to take his chances now, and we could see a few boundaries there as well.
Nah, no one's been out there long enough. You got to get above 20 to get a 12-man run out. That's nicely clipped off the toes from Adian, and he pushes hard. Oh, some
Good running there.
athletic but curious fielding from the Latvian team. I'm not sure if there was a stumble there.
Well pushed there by Vishan to get a couple of runs. Uday back on strike. JPR to run in again.
Oh, that almost looked a full toss, but it did dip late. A vital dot, and that'll add pressure on Adian. He knows he's seen a few dots earlier in the innings. And that's lovely, lovely stroke.
Left touch to backward point for Uday signal, and that's over. So we've got 9 overs, 61 for 2.
61.
What's that? 4 off the over. You'd be happy with that as the Latvian captain, I imagine.
Are we seeing a bowling change now? Yes. So the Latvian team not continuing with Sahan, and we've got a new bowler in there.
Faras.
Faras is the new bowler. Pretty standard field, you'd say. Mid on, long off, long on.
Now, I will say something of I've not watched cricket in Latvia. I've not even been to Latvia, thanks to the coronavirus era. But what I do know from the statistics in the app is that they have got some explosive batsmen in this squad. Plenty of guys who can score at over 200, 250%.
Wow.
So I'm not sure if that's a reflection on the local bowling. But I do think it means there's some pretty handy batsmen in this Latvian squad. So I'm looking at a projected score at the moment of about 136 or so for Estonia A. Do you think that's going to be enough?
I think we need a lot more. The pitch, apart from the initial couple of overs where it seemed like it was swinging a lot, or at least that's the impression we got from the side-on view. I think the pitch looks fine. So, and to your point, if we know there are explosive batsmen, we did need a little more than 130, I'd assume.
So Adian is struggling out there, because the last one was a deceptively quicker ball from the spinner, but that one is the type you'd hope your opening batsman puts away. So he can't afford to concede too many of those outside off.
So you have Faraz run in again. Looks like they worked up their strategy against Sudan to keep bowling outside off.
And again, so the deft dab has been tucked away. He's swinging a few more Adian. Let's see if he can get something on this next delivery. Better off his hips, just as easy single. Oh shit. A call of 2 from the Estonia A support team, but I think that's ambitious.
So Vishan on strike. To the Estonia A captain's point, I think we'd like to see what's his technique.
Oh no.
That's
Wow.
a bad throw, but we've got a couple of runs there. So again, good push there from Vishan for the second run, taking one on the arm right at the edge of the circle. Poor throw, otherwise it would have been a bit.
I must admit it. I I was a bit scared about that second run, but the throw did come in wild, but really nicely executed shot. He picks up 2, so he could be quite key to the Estonia A innings here, Zishan Ali.
Can't sit around, no run there. End of the over, we've got 65 for 2 after 10 overs.
So that makes the maths easy. The current run rate then is 6.5. So on track for a projected score of 130. Again, only 2 wickets down, so plenty of batting in the sheds for Estonia A. And we can see if anyone fancies a change in commentary. Shuvo, do you want to tell the world about your love for cricket? And we've got the Estonia A captain Tim Cross coming into commentary to talk you through the next few overs.
You need a poo, do you?
No, it's exhausting, mate, mentally.
Mentally exhausting. Just took it out of our resident Kiwi. So,
JTR to continue.
that is a poor ball and a worse shot. So, not much to say about that. That's just not great cricket. Bejon will go out now.
Then comes back.
So how many did Ujan, Ijan
12 of 30.
12 off 30. I thought he got a few more than that, but oh well. But yeah, Bejon will go out now as a legitimate all-rounder, so we'll see. But ideally now I want to be going along at least to run a ball, but try and keep a few wickets in the bank for a bit later on. So halfway through now. In truth, I'd be looking for a minimum of 150. So
That'll need us to do a lot more than run the ball from here. And you'd hope that one batsman sticks around.
yeah, we've got 2 new batsmen out there, so give them a couple of hours to have a look at it, and then hopefully build off the base. So we got Mania, Parfa. Yeah, okay, I'll go after Parfa, yeah. So alright, so Bejon checking the everything's in place, and then we'll get on with some cricket. Very light little cut shot off the mark. Bejon walks water for a single.
So I think giving JTR the 4th over and got them the wicket. Bowling 4 straight over.
I think pretty much what got the wicket there was his eyes lit up when he got a full toss, in truth. So that was certainly a wicket we can attribute to giving to them rather than them earning. So. Well, how would you feel getting out to a full toss from a spinner?
That's
all I got last season.
That's all I got. Yeah. Parko's made a career out of bowling the full tosses, but
last one was the wide. Comes JTR again.
another little late double. Tidied up a backward point and another single onto the total.
I think the batsmen out there would be happy to do that.
Oh, yeah, I think Latvia would be quite delighted if we just double along at the singles at this stage, but as I say, give these guys a couple of hours, get themselves settled.
That one was quick.
Push through a little bit more, yeah, a bit flatter, and Bejon thought about coming down and then realised he had to play back foot, so. Well weighted by Bejon there. It was very easy to get underneath that, and he's just pushed it down the ground for a single.
One delivery to go. Zishan on strike. Zishan to keep strike.
Yeah, so Robotics
We've got 70 for 3 after
11.
overs.
Turner, right? Over 70 after 11.
So,
70 for 3 after 11 overs.
so score update from the other match: 116 for 1, Estonia off 12 overs.
Got 116 for 1 after 12 overs.
12 overs. So Habib Khan 47, Maidan Islam 27.
Very solid start there from Estonia against Lithuania on field 1 at the beautiful display ground. We've got Faraz again, is it?
Chetia?
No, that was the last over.
Oh, was that the last over? Okay.
Maybe Faraz again.
Yeah, Faraz. So Zihan solidly behind that. Another dot ball. A few too many of them creeping in for me liking, but as I say, let these guys have a look and then hopefully start to push on. Well checked. You thought about throwing the kitchen sink at it and did well to control it when it.
Quick single there from
Ali. So Bejon on strike now.
2 of 3. Bejon. That ball over there. Batsman said he was ready.
I think Bejon wanted to check his mark and the bowler's quite quickly through his over, so Bejon looks such a casual cricketer. Yeah. Well bowled, good lines.
Nice there.
Latvia will be quite happy, I think, with this little passage he played. They're keeping it quite tight, not many boundaries coming at all. And then he gives a full toss and Bejon finds the man on the rope. Just a single from the run scoring ball, that one, I'm afraid.
Consistent wind blowing into the batsman, so I'm guessing that will help the bowler a bit.
There'll be a bit of shape on the ball, but that wind won't go away this afternoon. That'll be here for both sides, so just brings a bit of drift with the bowl. So that's a nice shot, and there's a guy down there, so that should be a single. Tied it up by mid-off. Mid-off not quite on the rope, drifted in a little bit, and now he's gone back to where he should have been. But yeah, the bowler's looking to get through his over quite sharp here, and
The change of bat for Zishan. Bejon to face the next delivery.
again full toss, just short of a catch for the sole guy in front of square on the offside. So I think the over's called.
74 for 3 after 12.
Yeah, need to push on from here really. I think anything under 140 gives Latvia a very good chance of taking a win.
The projected score is 123.
Yes, so the last few overs Latvia have been bowling pretty tight, so I don't think there's been a boundary since they got rid of Riffraff. So smells of good bowling and good field placing by them, so fair play. Yeah, is that the opener?
One Prasad back into second spell.
Bejon on strike. So got a mid on. Oh, he's walked past it. So they've got quite a straight mid off, a wideish mid on, a cow corner. Guy sweeping on the offside, and a guy down at fine leg. So yeah, seems to be the case of give singles and strangle the boundaries here. Wide ball, we'll take the extras.
You'd think with tight bowling and a decent field set, the batsman's got to try something different.
Yeah, next couple of overs will be quite key if these two can keep themselves in and then start to look to push on. Then I think that 140, 150 is still well within range. But if I don't put bat on ball soon, then we're going to find ourselves a bit light on the run side. And it will just add pressure to those coming in later then, that they feel they've got to go for it straight from the off. And it's a quick recipe for a handful of wickets in short term. But they've changed the bowling around. Apart from the spinner, I think they've all been 2 over spells.
Yep.
So he's juggled it around quite nicely, the skipper out there.
Solid first over in your second spell from Vani Prasad.
Yeah, I think Bejon's feeling a bit of pressure and maybe just trying to go at it a bit too hard rather than just getting bat on ball.
Yep, 4 of 9 deliveries for Bejon so far.
Yeah, sure.
Here comes Vani Prasad again.
Oh, leading edge gone sky high. And the keeper correctly calling it when he's got the gloves in his hand. So Bejon struggling there. Go on, Emanir. Someone will take over from me. I'm going to put me back.
So, thank you, Tim, for that quick stint. We'll have our resident Kiwi coming back on, Mr. Richard.
It is it's a good to have a long running joke to the stage where then half the team actually forgets the truth anymore. So yeah, I am the nominal Kiwi for the Talon Hippos team. Don't have enough or any New Zealanders in the Estonian competition, so I guess may as well be. So Monia, who is a local captain of his team, the Esti Tigers, in the local competition.
Quick single
So-
there off point.
Hugely experienced, and you'd say he measured that one accurately then. A touch tight.
So that was Zishan who played that for a quick single. Bit nervy for Monir without facing a ball, going for that quick run.
Someone to say hi to.
I've got a very special guest. Do you want to hop on commentary? Or we're just going to talk to little Samuel Hale here. So Thomas Hale and Perio Hale have brought their very young boy down. Oh no, there's a baby here.
The score is
How's the game going?
6. We have a bit of a hold up in play. The umpires are coming off.
Yeah, 13.
For a minor break. So we'll just check what the hold up is while the batsmen are in drinks. So 5-minute break over there. The fielding team and the batsmen will take some drinks.
We discovered overtiredness yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And we'll be back soon.
7 hours of screaming. Every time he was just about to sleep, he jumped and wake himself up.
7 overs to go for Estonia A. The projected score is 117. I'm sure the team will want much more than that. So Latvia looking really good in the middle, 76 for 4 after 13 overs for Estonia A. Zisan advances, a short one, awkwardly pulled to deep square for a quick single, and we have Monir back on strike. Harsh has come back for his second spell after opening the bowling with Surya. That's Monir on strike. Quick ball there. Quick single there. The ball hit the stumps. And Zishan brought him across for a quick single. So good cricket all around. Harsh working up some decent pace now. You have the keeper stretching now, not sure if that's it. Without the intent to bowl. Harsh getting his feel right. Here we go again. Zishan tucks it around on the left side for a quick single. Brings Monir back on. Cut away for a quick single to point this time. So the singles are coming in nice and steady now. Estonia A would probably hope or expect a boundary every over to make those singles worthwhile and try and get to a respectable total here. Field change there. Third man comes back in. Mid wicket goes back. And this one's slapped through covers for another single. Good over so far, just giving the singles away. Bowling to his field. One more delivery to go. Zishan's looking decently good in the middle. Monir has a big heave, doesn't connect, misses it, and that's an over. So we've got 81 for 4 after 14 overs. We've got Vani Prasad to continue. An excellent over there from Harsh. Giving 5 runs from that over. Estonia would really want to take a move on from here. 6 overs. Try and get to 130, 140. If someone can get a move on, it could be 150, but that looks a bit hard for now. Here comes Vani Prasad again. And this one's edged, and this one will run down to the third man boundary. So a welcome boundary there.
Well placed.
A boundary after a long time.
I was going to say it was quite a good little spell there for Latvia. They were looking above a runner ball at the 10 over mark, and in those 4 overs Latvia really turned the screws, tightened things up, as you said, restricted the boundaries. So they'll be happy with that. Estonia A, a chancy stroke, but they all count. The intent was there from Zishan Ali, and he got the reward.
This time advances down the ground, and this one's over covers. That's a lovely shot. Beautiful shot for a boundary. Extra cover. That's always a great place for a right-hander to hit that boundary.
You'd have to say that's technically the shot of the day.
I was going to say it's probably the most picturesque.
89 for 4 after 14.2 overs.
So-
Estonia A would hope this is the welcome start of hopefully lots more boundaries.
So consecutive boundaries for the first time all game. How does the bowler respond? That's played nicely, and so that's given a bit of hope and excitement to the Estonian A team. You can hear them clapping and cheering behind us, but encouraging on their players. 10 off 3. So a good start to this over, and Vani Prasad has to respond. He's bowled tidily up till this point.
That's a good hit. This one's in the gap. Good fielding at the boundary again. Another couple of runs. Ishan really taking a move on.
You thought for a second off the bat that was going to fly for 4 once again, but just the 2. The fielder was out there. Perhaps not the full blade on that one.
Once is down the ground again. This one's a bit shorter in length and can't do much. Pushes back to the board.
Good response. Dot for Vani Prasad.
12 runs of 5 balls in that over. And last ball coming up. Ishan just taps it to point for a quick single. He wants the second. It's not there. And good pressure there. Good over for Estonia after a long time. We've got 94 for 4 after
15.
15 overs.
No, it's Fahan, is it the spinner?
It's Mehdi Faraz.
Faraz the spinner.
Faraz comes back for another over.
I'd have to say a good change by the Latvian captain, because he did tighten things up when he bowled his last spell. So he's gone back to one of his strike spinners.
This one's driven through the covers, pushing for the second. That's gonna be tight. Ooh. And Monir is back in his crease with a very late dive.
Very, very close on that one.
That looked really close.
I think Monir won't want to see too many more of these. He's willing to put everything on the park for the shirt, but Zishan Ali is certainly pushing a little harder than.
This one's hit, but not quite well. Could be another couple, but no, this time Monir doesn't want the risky second. Tell you what, Zishan's really connecting those now. Maybe not the best that he'd like to, but he's at least showing the right intent.
So pushing the veteran who gives the big stop traffic. Just the one for him. Didn't fancy the second run there, but he can hit him himself.
And again, doesn't reach the fielder. It's one bounce to the fielder, long off fielder for a single.
He's a strong hitter, Munir. He does get a lot of 4s and 6s in the local competition, and as I've mentioned, a very experienced batsman. So he'll know where the holes in the field are. He'll know how to move it around to get a response from the captain. So.
But worth mentioning, the Tiscray outfield is not some of the shorter ones that you see going around at this level of cricket. I think we've got really good, strong 65-70 meter outfields, and hence you may not see tons of sixes being hit.
And we should say there was very, very heavy rain in recent days in Tallinn, which has also slowed down some of the outfields. So some of the balls along the ground.
Quick leg fly over there. Monir back on strike. Got 99 for 4. Delivery to go. This one's hit straight back by Monir, but just too long on for a quick single. No second there again. Monir's not interested. Zishan is. 100 comes up. 100 up, boys!
100 up, Estonia.
So it's 100 after 16 overs.
So still could go either way this game. You really think if the batsmen continue scoring at a decent clip, 130, 140, it could be a decent total. As we said, we haven't seen the Latvian batting lineup. Our intel from the stats from their local competition suggests that they can bat at an explosive rate. So perhaps 120, 130 is perhaps not enough. But if they can get 130, 140, it will put the pressure on the Latvian team. And as we mentioned, I think a lot of people may not realise how strong the bowling lineup is in the Estonian A team. I think it is a good bowling lineup. We will see our co-commentator Priyank hopefully in action in the second innings.
Here comes Harsh again. Change of ends for Harsh in his last over of the spell. Quick couple of runs down to cover.
I think conditioning might be on the program for the national team squad, and that is why the Estonian management wanted a tournament like this. So back in the ICC mix, Estonia will be playing later in the year, I think Cyprus. Potentially, I'm not too sure the fixtures, but they are expecting international cricket, and so obviously this tournament is not an ICC official event because Latvia and Lithuania are not ICC ranked nations, but Estonia will get that chance to have ICC rated competition later this season.
Harsh again, and this time Zishan smashed it over covers. This one's going to be a fantastic boundary.
That's a terrific strike. He swatted and muscled that, hasn't he? Wow.
Look at that on the video that will come up for us.
Yeah.
At least. Smashed over covers. 31 of 24. I think this is the kind of knock that Estonia A would have wanted. Hopefully he can continue to stay there till the end and get plenty more.
So if you're just joining, we do have a slight delay on commentary and vision, but the commentary is matched to the vision.
Oh, that's another great shot through the covers. Almost similar, just that this time it was to the left of the sweeper cover fielder. He had no chance. It looked like it's just right next to him, but he had absolutely no chance.
We have said that some of the boundaries have kind of slowed in the outfield. That picked up pace. That went like a tracer bullet. That so incredibly strong shot from Zishan Ali.
35 of 25 now.
So a bad finish to the spell from Harsh, who has bowled some very good overs early on.
And this one's a straight hit. Oh, fantastic effort, but that's another boundary. Almost like a tennis hit. Straight down the ground.
Forehand smash, you think, or something.
Fantastic effort there. Who was that? Was it Faraz?
I think it's Faraz, yeah.
Faraz at long gone. Fantastic effort, diving forward.
So it's something you always have that debate, especially in a T20. Do you prefer your fielder to stop the boundary or to try and attempt the catch? Now, with a batsman in this form, you'd have a look at the catch, and Faraj really raced in to try and get a hand to that, but it did come at the cost of a boundary.
Right, and smart play there, just taking a single of the last ball. Or is that the last ball? Yep, so that's over. We've got 116 for 4 after 18 overs.
So that's the type of over Estonia A was really hoping for. One or two more of those, and this could become quite a competitive total. You would hope 140, something like that on the boards. You would hope the bowlers can defend that. And also something we should note, an incredibly experienced captain for the Estonian A side. So Tim Cross is someone who can set a defensive field to his bowling attack. If his bowlers do the job, he can set the field to keep something to 120, 130. So vastly experienced and knowledgeable cricketer.
You would assume, or you'd love to believe that there is that home ground advantage. Even with the lower total, you might be able to play around a bit with your bowlers, with your field placement, the wind, and every other factor that counts. So, well, if we can get to 140, 150, it's going to be a cracker of a game.
Now the opening bowler Surya returns. You're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him.
So it's driven to deep point, a couple of runs. The throw wasn't good, else he would have had a bit of trouble there. But Zishan continues his good run of form here. Taking on Surya. This one's smashed to the covers again.
Yes,
What a fantastic shot.
That's an incredible shot.
Loves extra covers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Surya with his pace would have enjoyed that one bit.
He's bowled incredibly well, Surya. I think if I'm reading this right, he's only gone for what, 6? Well, before this one, 6 off the first 3 overs, possibly, and he's just gone for 6 off 2 balls.
He's just bowled 2 overs, so
Well, there it is.
he's bowled him. What a great response from Surya over there.
Nice bowling, Surya, nice bowling.
He's come back really strong, knocked that off stump down. But a fantastic knock by
I didn't say nothing.
Okay, I'll have to go back up.
We'll let Priyanka go put his pads on. Rifat Khan is a man of many words. He might want to come talk us through his innings earlier. But a very, very good innings there from Zishan Ali. He's really given Estonia A a chance back in this game. Next man in is Patakar. So Pata is someone, again, a more experienced batsman in the Estonian side. He looks like he's a baby child of 22 always, but he has been around for some time, quite experienced. A genuine all-rounder. He is a very, very handy bowler, but has got some crucial runs for his domestic team this season. Let's see how he responds. Surya off the long run-up. And there's your answer. So, on a hat-trick. He's definitely got his tail up, Surya, and this was what we understood. We understood he was the standout bowler in the Latvian squad, and he has certainly demonstrated this today. As we said, so the new man is the skipper, Tim Cross, coming out to a hat-trick. So 2 very experienced batsmen, Munir, the captain of his local club, Tim Cross, the captain of the T20 side for the Talon Hippos. He's quite a strong batsman and quite a quick scorer if it's in his slot. But I think his first response will be here to see out this over. 2 balls to come from Surya, and if I understand correctly, that's last of his spell. No, one more over for Surya. This is just the third over, so they've managed their strike bowler very well, Latvia. So you'd have to say Surya and perhaps Mehdi Faraz, the spinner, the pick of the two bowlers so far. The off spinner Chitia also did well, picked up 2 wickets, and 1 or 2 others a little expensive. So defensive from Tim Cross prevents the hat-trick. And he's definitely charged up. Surya has a shy back at the stumps. And a very special co-commentator comes to join us for a couple of overs. The one, the only, the man, the legend, the myth, the rumour, Rifat Khan.
Hey everyone.
How was it out there today?
It was good, but a lot of pressure, you know.
Mm.
We lost a wicket in the start and there was not too much run on scoreboard, so it was too much pressure on me, but I did my best. But unfortunately, the shot was not good and it didn't reach the shot.
The bat was also an issue. Someone didn't knock it in properly. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I just have to draw attention to the wicket keeping on that last delivery. That was a terrific take, or at least a stop from the keeper. That could have gone for 4.
It was far away from the keeper, but he died.
So a much needed response from Latvia. 2 wickets in that over. Surya dismissing the danger man, Zeshan Ali, who was in very, very lovely form for Estonia A. How were you seeing things out there? How were the conditions?
On the pitch, it's good, you know, ball is swinging, but
So there was a bit of swing?
yeah,
Yep.
there was the spinner, you know, they have the one spinner, his ball is spinning too much. He's an off spinner, but his bowling is good.
Okay, so Chitia, I think, the spinner, yeah. Okay. So 2 overs to go. Projected score still 137. So if they can get high 130s, 140, you'd still say a decent total.
Yeah, it's a good total. Whoa!
Oh,
Legend.
wow.
You didn't see it too much, you know. You don't see these shots.
Well,
Straight here.
he got hit for 2 consecutive sixes on this pitch on the weekend, and he wasn't too happy about it. So Tim Cross has come out and giving back a bit of medicine off the very good bowler Mehdi Faraz. So
Both are a little bit heavy. I don't think they will go for 2.
so running between the wickets won't be the feature of the last 2 overs. But that's a much needed 6 from the skipper and a terrific shot down the ground. So 7 off first 2 balls of this over. What can Munir come up with? Well, there's no one out there. There's a man coming round, and it does cross the rope. So So that those 2 strokes have definitely accelerated the projected score, nudging up 140s. This could be a big ending for Estonia A. Full toss. Munir comes down the ground, but there are men in the deep. Just the single. Ready to continue, and well watched by the captain Cross. Just a single, well fielded. A little bit of tension coming back into the fan section for Latvia. Is that challenge that late on you can spread the field and really cut off and choke some of these boundaries, and Latvia are doing well with their field placements in general so far.
137.
It's actually last over, so everyone will be going. on the boundary side, so they have to stop the ball because the batsman will try to hit it hard.
So it should be Surya to finish the final over, and that's well managed from the Latvian captain, his star and strike bowler to come in for the last 2 overs, and it could be tough to get him away.
Actually, the Latvian captain is doing a great job. You know, he's like setting up everything. The spots, like where the batsman is hitting the ball, and also he's doing a good job by making the bowler pointing out every ball will ball to.
So a quick single there. It would have been close. It was the bounce throw from the wicketkeeper. The direct shot might have had Cross in trouble there, but a well taken quick single. Oh. And again, is that a no ball signal? Bye. Sorry. Really should have learnt my basic cricket signals by now, Rifak, but you know, none of us are professionals.
What? Fuck man, it's the last over, yeah.
So some passionate responses from the Estonia A team, urging their batsmen to push as hard as they can for the last over. Munir has probably run out of steam. Oh, big swing from Cross, but just the dot. It's a tough one. They're both good batsmen, able to hit the 4s and 6s as we've seen. But you know, I wonder who you'd prefer on strike for the last couple of balls.
I think both are good if they look to the ball, you know, so they can hit the ball. They have the power to hit the ball. It's a run out.
That was a tragedy happening in slow motion, that one. Munir has very much run out of steam. The fielders did really well to pick the right end. It was Cross running to the danger end. He did make the right call in terms of pushing for the 2. And it is our earlier co-commentator Priyank Shaw who comes out, and you'll see from his build a slightly more athletic figure than Munir. So at least he'll run hard for the ball or 2 that is out there. But a good innings from Munir. He did do well. 15 off 13. He came in at a time when they were under a little bit of pressure, and steadied the ship nicely with partnership with Zeshan Ali. And hopefully he gets the chance to rest now.
Yeah, helpful partnership for us. Like, just trying to make some runs for us. We will go to defend it.
So that is the end of the innings. A very fine battle of ball and bat out there. I'm just waiting to get a final confirmation of the score. I think it might be 141. We shall see. So a decent target.
Yeah, it's a decent target. You can defend it easily.
So 142 is the final confirmation. 142, 7 wickets down. A good acceleration. So we'll have a 20-minute break between innings. 142 for 7 is how it finishes for the Estonia A batting performance, and 20 minutes until Latvia comes out to bat. So a welcome back to Tiskara and our coverage of the Baltic Cup 2021, this opening game between Estonia A and Latvia. First game for both these sides in the tournaments. It is a simple round robin structure, 4 teams, 3 games each, and then a winner takes all, I believe. But a decent opening innings there for Estonia A, 142 on the board for the loss of 7 wickets. Very, very tidy start during the power play from the Latvian bowlers. Surya, the pick of the bunch, very, very tight and also quite quick. The opening batsman from Estonia A reported that there was a fair bit of lateral movement in the early stages of that game. So the ball getting great outswingers for right-handers. It's a interestingly poised match, this one. We obviously, as Estonian-based cricket enthusiasts here, know a lot more about the Estonian A team than we do the Latvian side, but my understanding is they do have some incredibly explosive batsmen in the mix. So it is a gettable total for Latvia, but they'll have to get past a strong bowling lineup and a very experienced captain who should, if his bowlers back him up, should be able to set some clever plans. So it's a very nicely poised game, and it does appear that it's Priyank Shaw, who you might have heard alongside me in co-commentary earlier, who is handed the ball and the responsibility of opening up for Estonia A. So we're just working out the scorers, just putting in the opening batsman. We understand, I think it's Ishant for Latvia, and from my guess that looks like Chatia from earlier, but we'll wait for confirmation. Priyank. I'm not sure what's happening with the graphics here. Estonia A needs 1 run in 20 overs is incorrect information. We'll see if we can get that fixed for you. But at least we've got the feed and the vision, and here we are, first ball. So nicely played off the pads, and that will run away for 4. So first boundary of the innings. Perhaps the wind or the swing taking that onto the legs, and nicely played from the Latvian open batsman. There we go. I think our graphics appear to have updated, so Ishan there with a very lovely flick off the pads to open his account. Priyank comes back in, and that is a much better delivery. Big swing outside off. He's beaten for pace. Power play could be quite a pivotal moment in this game, just because the field has to be restricted. Ooh, big appeal from Estonia A. I thought that was a chance of a leg side strangle there, but batsman unmoved. He's suggesting perhaps that came off the toe rather than bat, but the Estonia A slip cordon certainly went up. Huge appeal there from Mania behind the stumps. Priyank Shaw continues. Oh, that one's gone very, very high, but it might fall safe just over the cordon. So good running there. They get the 2. That one went very, very high, and for just a moment you thought that could be a chance of a catch. So I'm just picking up on the vision that from straight on you can see the ball moving through the air. There is quite a breeze coming across the ground at Tiskra. So tricky conditions, both for bowler and batsman. Shaw continues and once again beats the bat. So nicely balanced over this between ball and bat. 3 dots versus 2 scoring shots. Priyank to finish. And that is hit away square, but picks out the man at square leg, so no run. 6 off the over. A reasonable start for Latvia, and that will be very much what they need. They need a run rate just over 7. But Estonia A did start quite slowly in the power play. So you'd imagine Latvia would look to get some of these runs earlier, maybe go after some of the bowlers in the power play while the field's restricted, brought in. And it is Pranay Giwala to open the bowling for Estonia A from the other end. Very, very handy cricketer, good all-rounder with Talon Falcons in the local competition. Bowling all-rounder, you'd say, but a handy batsman. But quite consistent line and length. And we can see Chatia is already batting outside of his crease, so he's looking to get on the front foot and be aggressive. But a nice dot to open for Pranay. Pranay to continue. And that slap through the cordon, it just evades the man on the ring and it finds its way to the boundary. So a very, very lovely shot there from Chatia. It wasn't that wide, but he gave it the full face of the bat and ran that nicely through the cordon. Troubles with shoelaces and or gloves for a batsman facing his second delivery. So keeping the bowler waiting. Here comes Pranay. Oh, lovely delivery. Straight through him there, and that's a great response. Full toss there, but within the tram tracks, no wide. Big swing, you'd think he's missed out on one there, Chatia. Pranay continues, and that's a much better line. Just outside off, and it's been a very, very good response from the bowler. So one cultured shot through the cordon for 4, and he's responded with a string of dots. So a scare there for the Latvian batsman as the ball bobbles between bat and pad but no risk of going back onto the stumps. And that's the end of over. A very, very tidy one from Pranay, just the one scoring shot for 4 off it, and it's 0 for 10 off 2 overs. We do enjoy in the Estonian domestic competition a lovely sponsorship from Bluff VPN, who have the main sponsors for the T20 competition, and provided some terrific zinger stumps that light up when they're struck. So if you're following the Baltic Cup tournament this weekend, do look out on field 1 to see the zinger stumps in action. We've got the old wooden models out here, and I can't help feel a little disappointed when you don't get to see everything light up, but it's a terrific initiative, and it's a very welcome sponsorship to a company that is very, very capable in their field, but supporting a local competition. Big appeal there. First ball from Priyank. Wraps the pads, but potentially sliding down leg side. And another swing and a miss. So Ishan, after a very, very bold, very confident first stroke of the innings, is starting to look a little uneasy out there against the bowling of Priyank. As we mentioned, there's a very, very strong cross breeze. Both these bowlers very capable at mixing speed. That was a slower ball there from Priyank, and just gets the single. It's incredibly quick running between the stumps here from Latvia. It's the left-handed Chatia on strike. So an added challenge for the fielding side and the fielding captain, the left-hand right-hand combination. At this level it shouldn't put you out of your stride, but some bowlers do find themselves having a preference for a right-hand batsman or a particular side. Shaw continues, and that's nicely struck through covers. It may go all the way to the boundary. It does. Nandriyar in the field. He is quick, but he's not quick enough for that. It's a very nice boundary for Ishan, and that'll steady him a little bit. Full and outside off, but still had to play it nicely. Good response by the bowler, right in the block hole, and Ishan is happy to see out the over. So 16 for 0 off 3 overs. Just about a runner ball. Very evenly poised. We've seen the potential of both these batsmen. They look like they are good players who can score quite quickly. But we've seen some good bowling that has restricted them so far. And that's half the power play navigated, but you will imagine the Latvian batsmen will look to open up for the final overs of the power play. Of course, the first 6 overs in a T20 format do have fielding restrictions. Chatia watchful, again happy to see one outside off. Pranay to continue. And that one is wide. There's a big swing outside off. nicely watched and well bowled. Tricky length there from Pranay. He is a student of the game, Pranay. He's one of those players in the domestic competition who you get the sense he works very hard at his game. He takes himself and his cricket seriously. And he is a player that has improved a great deal over the past 2 seasons. Of course, the Talon Falcons in the domestic competition were the champions of the T20 format in their inaugural season. So both Pranay bowling here and Rifat Khan, who you saw earlier, were stars of that campaign. Another good little battle between bat and ball. Pranay to continue to Chatia. That's a slower ball, but it's full, but it's picked out the man. Udayan does well, and it's just the single. Momentary hold up in play. I think we've got another shoelace here. So, as the standard joke goes, if there are any Velcro sponsors out there looking to get behind local cricket, then please get in touch to us. Slightly down leg, but there's a fielder there, and they opt against the single. You'd say on Priyank's arm there, the right decision. So good job at short third man. Short long on. I'm going to have to get the fielding positions up on my phone, it's that bad. Big appeal and given! Wow. I'll be interested to see the replay on that. I'm not sure if height was an issue, but Andersberg, the umpire, did take his time, considered his decision, which you like to see, and raised the finger. Actually, watching on replay, I think height wasn't a factor, so probably you'd have to say seemed a fair decision. Shant incredibly disappointed as he comes off, whacking the ground with the bat. I think the batsman feels a little aggrieved, saying it's hit him quite high, but he's not exactly a 8-foot warrior. So a key wicket there to Pranay, that'll lift his confidence. And it helps put the brakes on the Latvian team. At the close of 4 overs, 1 for 19, so a few wides there, but a very, very good over otherwise from Pranay. Hold up again as the batsman calls for chalk. Yeah. Yep. So I understand the batsman will be looking to mark his crease there. I think it's Mehdi Faraz, the So Priyank to continue, he opens with a wide. Key little spell here, Estonia A, if they can stay tight for the last 2 overs of the power play, could be in quite a nice position. The run rate has dipped just a little below the target. Oh, big edge there, and that flies through the cordon. That'll run for 4. It's harsh on the bowler, but as we saw with Zishan Ali's very, very fine innings that sometimes you need a little bit of luck to get going. So a streaky... Huh? Just 4. Down the leg side, and oh no, there's a man there. I thought that was on its way to the boundary, but the short third man does his job very well. Pranay in the field, so no score there. It was a fine stroke. Chatia did well to get onto it, but well set field. Oi. That one has just rolled and literally only kissed the boundary. I think the batsmen have tried to run about 5 there, and the whole support squad are frantically telling them it's a boundary. But it did only just kiss the rope. It was 1 or 2 revolutions. Decent attempt in the field from a Dayan, but tough one to stop there, and that's a great response from Priyank. Just getting the sense that Chatia is starting to open up here, and he could be a real danger man. He looks a very, very composed and decent batsman. Lovely stroke through covers, but it's cut off by the fielder. Zashan Ali there. So a few key dots, but the 2 boundaries. And it's the slower ball there, nicely bowled and well watched, but he couldn't beat the field there. Yep. So after 5 overs, we're 28 for 1. Run rate required, still sitting at about between 7 and 8. Latvia just near or near about on run a ball. So 115 off 90, the equation. It's certainly not getting away, but they will want to keep an eye on keeping things ticking over. I just remembered I am actually nominally 12th man for this game, so I might have to run a drink bottle out from time to time, so if I disappear from commentary, do bear with us. Pranay continues, and he's struck through the offside. Good running there. I'm not sure if that was a 3 or a 4. 3. Okay, so 3 run from the batsman there. Slight hesitation on the 3rd, but they did hit the accelerator to get home comfortably. So it's the 2 handy spinners in the Latvian squad both out there, so showing that they're very competent all-rounders. Playing a miss outside off. Pranay continues, and that's a terrific full-length near Yorker. Batsman can't offer much apart from to dig it out. A fine throw back in from Zishan Ali. So just the one there. Good fielding reduces the chance of a second. Very powerful arm there from Zishan Ali. He's not a huge man, but very strongly built upper body. Slight adjustment in the field. He comes back into covers, and it's straight past him there, but there's cover. Bejon comes round and should restrict it to 2. So good batting and good fielding there. So full and outside off there from Pranay, but he is mixing his line length and pace. He's a tricky customer. Batsmen are asking for a wide, but it's not given. So the discussion had in the middle of the field. So that is the end of the power play, and it's 1 for 34, which if you recall from memory, I think Estonia A were 1 for 36 at this stage of the game, so you would have to say very evenly poised. Both captains would be happy with their bowling performance during the power play. But as we've said, as long as Chatia's there for Latvia, they are a real chance. He seems a very capable batsman. Change in the bowling attack. It does appear to be the spinner Bejon. So Tim Cross taking time to set his field. Time shouldn't be an issue today for the captains. Both sides have got through their overs in reasonable tempo, so they can afford to take a little bit of time to tailor their field. Tim Cross is setting out a raft of instructions, I think set to each batsman. As we said, with the left-hand, right-hand combination, it does sometimes become tricky. And also, don't forget, this is a national 11 put together selected from 12 domestic clubs. So a lot of these players are, in essence, almost meeting each other on the field a little. So a little bit of misunderstanding in the field. But all very capable cricketers. Bejon to start. It's marginally short, and Chatia smashes that in the general region of cow corner. That won't impress the skipper, but he gives his bowler a word of encouragement. So So Bejon to continue to Chitaya. Oh, batsman's got himself in all sorts of trouble, and there could be a chance of a run out, but the pickup is not clean. That was a very confused stroke there, I think. Not sure what he was attempting at. We had the no call, we had a almost fall over from the runner, but they got through. Mady keen to reach strike. He's got a piece of chalk out there and he's marking his crease. All sorts of combinations and angles, rolling out some high school trigonometry to make sure he's got his positions covered. Bejon continues. Again, nicely run. They might even get two. They're incredibly fast between the wickets, the Latvians, and that's fine running. We talked about the energy and the enthusiasm in the field in the first innings, and we're feeling that, sensing that from commentary from the sideline. The Latvian team and their supporters are hugely encouraged. It's good to see. Good to see people enjoying their cricket, and the batting side putting the pressure on the fielders. Bejon to the right-hander Mady. It's good length. Mady comes forward, but no run there. Slightly fuller from Bejon, and it does slide down leg side. That one is full. Oh dear. The fielders appeared to have lost that in the sun, unfortunately. It was a full toss and he did pick out the fielder. Debatable whether it was catchable. Might have gone just over his head. Turning into a good over for Latvia. So a quick single taken, and that, let me calculate, I think it might be about 12 or 13 off that over. So a very good over for Latvia. So Mady looking to score quickly. Chitaya has looked very good, but he's 20 off 22, so it's not lightning pace, but he does have that element of threat in him that you see bad balls will get put away. The bowling has been very tight so far, and the captain has turned to himself, so it's Tim Cross into the attack. Oh, dearie me. Oh, two minds with the shot, and it is put down in the field. A good attempt by Pranay to cover a lot of ground, the fielder, to come in and grab that, but he does spill it, and that won't please the captain. I think the batsman was deceived by the pace. He is a medium pace bowler. Tim Cross gets a lot of movement through the air, but the batsman certainly was not sure what to make of that. Slightly more full, and that one is carefully watched by Chitaya, the left-hander. He is notoriously economical, Tim Cross, and That said, he is hit to the boundary, but the fielder comes around nicely. So reduced to just one. Good fielding in the deep. Slightly on leg side, that one from Cross, but he's got away with it. Chatia showing he's very adept and quickly onto anything on his pads. Cross continues just short of length, push down the ground for one. So again, singles here. That one's a tighter one. Well taken by Munir behind the stump. So strong throw in. But that's the thing. If you cut off the boundaries and the sixes, then Latvia will need a lot of this good running. It's a plague. We'll just continue with this ball from Tim Cross. It's a plague in the local Estonian competition that there are a lot of big hitters who are guilty of leaving many singles, doubles, triples out on the field. Now, at the national team level, a lot of that is gone, but you saw in the earlier innings a few of the Estonian A players guilty of not running the twos perhaps as hard as they could. We're seeing very, very hard running from Latvia. It's not an error that they'll repeat, and it is something that could get them 10-15 runs in a tight game like this. It could be all the difference. So it is Bejon to continue. The skipper. I would say it's a show of faith from the captain, but he is a good spinner. He is good enough to be better than he was last over. But perhaps there are batsmen that prefer spin or batsmen that prefer pace, and these two might like the look of Bejon. They are both spinners themselves, as we saw from the first innings.
From my view, he's really good for the right-arm batsman rather than left-arm. Because left-arm batsman got the shot for him.
So some insights from a former teammate, Jubanevi, who was with Esti Tigers alongside Bejon last season, telling us he does bowl better against left-handers. I'm trying to, oh dear, slip, and that's just the one on the run. So Matey with a slip there. He seems to have hurt himself a little bit at the non-striker's end, but he seems good enough to recover. Slip on the heel. So a nice little partnership building here between these two. Both keen to run hard. And both very cultured stroke players, strong with the wrists. Oh! Tempted a late cut there from Chatia and almost gives his wicket away. Good glove work behind the stumps. Munir is one of the tidier keepers in the Estonian competition. Full from Bejon, driven down the ground just for the single. So these are the overs where I mentioned earlier in commentary, Captain Tim Cross can set a field to defend. He can defend a decent total, and you get overs of 5 and 6 dribbling along. Bejon to continue. It's full again down the ground. It could be just the single. So you'd argue Estonia A will be happier with these sequences of play. The ratio is 88 off 67 balls, so but they do need a wicket to break this partnership. Here comes Bejon, and it's full, and it is very watchfully played. Mahdi backing up a long way at the non-striker's end. I think that would have been what you'd categorise as a suicide single. So a much better over from Bejon, just 4 off it. Rewards his captain's faith. So we're 9 overs gone, we're 1 for 55. Current run rate just a tick over 6, and the run rate required sneaking up to 8. We do remember that the Estonian A innings really did accelerate in the middle to latter stages. But a very good fight back in the closing overs from Latvia and their strike bowler Surya. Cross continues. He gives away very few extras, so you heard the grunt of frustration from the bowler, not happy with himself for a leg side wide, but he makes up for that with his second ball, getting the dot. This is where the dots can build, the pressure can build. He's short there, and that is crashed away. So a much needed boundary. Mahdi opens the shoulders, and that's 4. Just dragged a touch short from the skipper. That one's fuller and it's scooped. And it is cleared the rope. My, I thought that had fallen a touch short, so that's a fine little spell here. Mahdi is obviously liking what he's seen. And 10 off 2 changes the complexion of this sequence. A very good spirit of cricket moment there from Pranay, the fielder. Signalled the 6 very, very clearly and very early. Sometimes in these big ovals, when the ball's somewhere near the rope, you might see fielders try and let the umpire make a call and see if they get the benefit of the doubt. But the fielder very clearly and early signalled the 6. So good spirit of cricket there from Estonia. Short again, and this one is up in the air. There's a fielder coming round, and it is taken. Rifat Khan with the catch, and that's a huge wicket. Chatia departs. He'll be disappointed he didn't get hold of that one. It was there to be hit, but he might have been deceived, maybe some dip. He did play it far more uppishly than he would have liked. And the fielder made up great ground to get there. So a great fight back from the bowler. He goes for 10 off 2 balls, but gets the wicket. And like what we saw earlier in the Estonia A innings, if the bowler goes for a bit of tap but then gets the wicket, you'll happily take it. I'm going to ask a question from our technician. Oh, it probably is yours. Vicky, a question for you. If I pop back out here, okay, so how do I get, now if I escape out, how do I get back in?
One, scroll here,
Uh-huh.
put it
Oh
up,
yeah, full screen.
or as it says here, F.
Uh-huh.
So you can press F and it goes there.
Lovely.
Escape F, escape F.
Wonderful. So getting some technical advice on the run here, so I can understand how I can see the YouTube commentary.
This is my water bottle.
Yeah, it probably is. Have a good day. All right. Well, now that I've discovered about 4 hours of commentary here, comments on the YouTube channel, I'll have to catch up. I'm seeing a few names we know from the Estonian competition. So the halfway point, we are 2 for 67. Latvia. Oh, I'm totally in trouble. I was going to run some water out. Latvia 2 for 67. 10 overs in. New batsman is Tilina. So it is Bejon continuing his third over, the spinner. As we mentioned earlier, Captain Cross looking to just tighten things up in these middle overs. He's got men on the boundaries to protect his spinner, but also bring catches into the game. Half shout there from the bowler. So we're getting the sense here that the quick running we saw between Mady, Tilina, the new batsman, is not the pace of Mady, so that fast running might slow down. And the batsman, you have to go to the side column. I'm not sure how to do it. Can you pull out the sidebar, or just keep a note of it and take it later? Oh, chance there. Mady clips one to the fielder and it lands just short of him, but very well fielded from Pranay. So if you get into the options menu, I can't remember if it's settings, you can, somewhere in here you can add one run short. Just make a note and fix it at the end. So some issues on the go. It's tricky to put in one short for the scorer. We're on the Crick Heroes app. Are you good?
I feel good, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the run is going to.
So apologies for the slight confusion. We're trying to fix something in the score. The umpire signalled one of the batsmen ran one short, but a few makes it slightly trickier for the scorer to keep. So nicely cut away there. 2 run. So we're just having a slight break in play as we try and fix the scoring, and I might run some water out.
in the field right now.
So apologies, as we mentioned, bear with us, we've just got a minor problem with the scoring. So the umpire has decided to allow the players to take a 5-minute drinks break mid-innings. It gives us the opportunity to reflect on what we've seen this innings so far. Just refreshing my Crick Heroes app on my phone. So Mehdi Faras, 32 off 22, going at a decent clip, strike rate of around 145. So he could be key to the Latvian innings. As mentioned earlier, we're still keeping the run rate just under 8, so it's not getting away. All of the bowlers from Estonia have been very tidy so far. Economy rates between 4 and 8, which is what you'd hope for, especially during the power play. Big shout out to Pranay Giwala, who was 3 overs 1 for 13, so a fine opening spell there. So a good little partnership, just shy of the 50-run partnership between Chatia and Mehdi Faraz. But we'll see what else Latvia has in the sheds. You imagine they would bat at least to 7 or 8. So we've only seen the top 3 and then a brief cameo from Talina Pereira, who's just entered the 3. So very much in the balance this game. It could be quite a tight one. 70 runs off 54 balls is the equation. Our umpire has signalled both teams back onto the field, so the drinks break has finished. And I understand the scoring issues are resolved, so that's good. Weather update, I can tell you the skies have cleared here at Tiskra, about 15 kilometres west of Tallinn, capital in Estonia, and the skies look an absolute picture, paying tribute to the ground that they get to compliment. This is I called it earlier a marble carpet of a pitch, incredibly immaculately maintained pitch here. There's a dedicated grounds team that work incredibly hard all year round, led by Travis Beswick and friends. I believe Trav's watching on from somewhere exotic, no doubt. So batsmen are back out, and it is the captain Tim Cross to continue with the ball. You wonder if that break has been better for fielders or batting side. We'll find the answer to that shortly after. So 16 off his 2 overs, but 2 of those were 6 and a 4 off consecutive deliveries. Oh! Batsman makes himself room, but then spoons that one dangerously, but no fielder nearby. He is posing some questions, Tim Cross. I'm not sure if it's loop, if it's movement through the air, but he's definitely confused a few batsmen today. A more orthodox attempt there. Mehdi getting forward and opting against the suicide single. Tim Cross, there's a big scoop. Is there anyone behind it? There is, but it falls short. So I think just the single there to Meady. Dead ball there. Tim Cross resets, starts his run up, just waiting for his field. That's driven hard and down the ground, and that will go for 4. So very, very straight. So Talina showing us a little bit of what he can do. Doesn't like going for runs, Tim Cross, so you'll normally get a response from the bowler. Slightly faster, and that is over the head of the fielder, so another 4 straight down the ground. Talina showing he's very, very strong. Straight down the ground and doesn't mind the full ball. So key little battle here. The skipper needs to respond, or it could be a good little patch for Latvia. He goes full once again, and that's over the head for 4. Yep, 14. So 14 off the over. Good one for Latvia. That for the first time nudges their run rate above what's required. 87 for 2, 12 overs gone. So just a little sense that there's a momentum swing there towards the visitors. I know that voice. So it is Bejon, the spinner, to continue. He bowls out his 4 overs consecutively. Matty reaches for it, and just the single. Rocket throw in from Zeshan Ali. Bejon to Talina, continues. Oh, more fly than it is given. The umpire has signalled. I don't think Talina's happy with the decision, but he might be equally unhappy with his shot selection. That's a big wicket. He'd showed his intent to score runs quickly. But big swing and no connection, so he did leave himself open to the LB. And again, as we saw earlier, umpire Andras Burgert, very, very experienced Estonian national team, former Estonian national team wicketkeeper. Very, very knowledgeable umpire. Took his time, didn't hurry into a decision, weighed things up, and made the call that he considered correct. So it's the opening bowler Surya. I'm getting the sense that the Latvian side has a couple of decent all-rounders here. Good bowlers, good batsmen. So Surya coming in at 5. Do you reckon he might be a wham-bam merchant? We'll see. Fast bowlers often like to swing hard, swing early. He rocks onto the back foot and punches that away, but there's a fielder there. Patakar comes round, just a single. So Surya not interested in the Whippets game that Mady and Chiti were driving earlier in the innings. Does seem incredibly quick, Mady. Surya's got some type of problem either with hamstring or shoe. He's shaking a leg out. A full toss that's driven straight, not to the man, and that's well fielded in the deep from Rifak. Cuts off the boundary. So Surya in trouble. It could be a calf muscle or something. I'm not sure if they're there. The wicket keeper Munir is very sportingly helping him. I don't think it's just tying up a pad. I think it's some type of a calf massage that he's receiving out there. So good to see the Baltic neighbours very accommodating on the field. Little pat on the fanny from Diane. Good to see him get in the game. So 53 needed off 44 balls. It appears the pitch. One game is wrapped up, so I'm going to guess Estonia has won that one against Lithuania. And the noisiest man in Estonia has come to visit us, Romeo. Very excited about an opening win for Estonia, and Tim Filer's going to give me a bite of his kebab, so that's exciting. Come join us in commentary, Tim. And while you're talking, I'll look after that for you. We'll grab Stu Hook. The full toss there, and that's put away, but there's a fielder in the deep. We've got Stu Hook joining us in commentary, the president of the Estonian Cricket Association, and good day out so far, Stu.
Yeah, just trying to fit my mind. Amazing day out for cricket in general in Estonia. We've got Latvia and Lithuania come up this morning, massive amount of efforts, and now a very tight game here in the Latvia versus Estonia A match. What's your take of the match so far, Mitch?
It's actually been exactly as you say. It has been really tight, but it's been tight all the way through. So the Latvian bowling was very, very good in the power play. Estonia A through Rifat Khan and Zishan Ali did swing things back a little bit towards Estonia A's way. Decent total of 142 or so put on the board. But just in the last over or two, the Latvians have gone after Tim Cross, a couple of expensive overs in the middle, and it might be just shading in their favour. But a wicket or two, and things could change quite quickly. I'm not sure how deep they bat. We'll find out.
Yeah, generally Latvia put out a very strong side when they come up to the Baltic Cup. So what we've got here, we've got Shuvo rocking in with some spinners. You can't bowl anything short on these pitches, so be disappointed if any of the Estonia A bowlers bowl short in this last little segment of the game.
Do you remember from last year any of the standout players from the Latvian squad? Or it seems quite a young team. I imagine they'd rotate quite a few players.
Yep, I was preparing the other ground when Latvia arrived this afternoon. I haven't had a chance to check out the team. It was a nice little stop there by Nan, but short fun league. But they're not to be taken lightly, the Latvians. They are committed to the cause, and this is shaping up to be a really good game.
We saw the man on strike now, Surya, is the pick of the bowlers for the Latvians, opening quick, and got a bit angry, got hit for 4, and then came out and clean bowled the next 2 batsmen. So he's a competitor.
He's got a bit in reserve then.
Yeah. Runs like a gazelle, but it is still nicely poised. I think a wicket or two swings this back to Estonian A. At this stage, Latvia, with men in the shed, should be able to run down the total. But we did.
So who's Tim Cross got in the sheds to bowl at the death?
Well, the opening pair bowled well, but he did bowl them for 3 over spells. You'd love a extra left arm quick about now, wouldn't you, Stu? If the 12th man could get involved. Huge strike there. Huge strike there. That's a massive shot. And he really has held the Latvian innings together, matey. He did well with the ball earlier, and that's a very, very fine shot. Was full, but he put it away.
Shiva will be a bit disappointed with his leg side full toss there, unfortunately. He'll be looking for it at this ball.
He's a better bowler than that. Oh.
It's a quick mic check there.
It's always good. I did that for about 14 overs and I thought, gee, I hope this is on.
Yeah.
Feedback from a well-wisher telling us we might have lost Mike too, but we'll keep you updated on that front. I do hope you can hear the pearls of wisdom from ECA President Stu Hook joining us fresh from Field A. So how did things go over there? How was the game with Lithuania?
We hit 195 in the first innings. Nice little knock there from Habib Khan. Hit 50 odd. Maidel chipped in with a few as well. Marco with a couple. Filer batted well. We put 195 on, and then the bowlers came to town, opening with Ashish Rana and Kala Bispalu. Fishy picked himself up 4 wickets. Yeah, bowled really well. I think there were 3 bowls in those 4 wickets. And overall, the Estonian main team fielded really well. And Lithuania didn't have too many options left, and we ended up winning by 150 runs by bowling them out for 43. So good all-round effort there.
So you'd say a fair statement of intent from the Estonian main team. So it is Partakar into the attack. He starts with a wide, but again another tricky bowler and an experienced campaigner in the domestic competition. Decent all-rounder.
Yeah. Parta is known for his full Yorkers, or that's his chance here. And a good catch, caught on the boundary. Umpire has made the correct call there. That ball was not high at all, and that was a great catch and a very important wicket from a full toss there.
You had me nervous for a moment there. I thought you were going to say that struck it off, which would be a bit tough. Good catch, Zeshan Ali in the deep. So it is the big swinging Surya who departs. He'll be disappointed, but the danger man Matey still stays there. 43 off 29. He is the one Estonia need to get. I'm going to run some water out.
Oh shit, sorry. Alright, Richard, commentator. No, you're right. You'll be right. There's also 12th man and commentator at the same time, so there's a busy workload on days like today. Everything we do around the association is done with volunteers. A lot of people have taken their days off work today and most likely tomorrow as well, and really appreciate everyone's efforts in getting this Baltic Cup up and running. The domestic season is absolutely jam-packed every Saturday and Sunday. It's really hard to have these sort of events midweek, but once a year we all pull together and get it done. So a shout out to the Latvian and Lithuanian cricket organisers for getting up here today. It's much appreciated. This new batsman comes to the crease and Parkin comes off the field. Parta will be pretty happy not to just get a wicket, but to get a wicket off that full toss. It was about knee high and it surprised the batsman. But that's what Parta does. He bowls good Yorkers, so every now and then there'll be one that just is a little fuller than expected and well caught in the deep. And it could be a very pivotal moment in this game. Richard Parkin comes back, and I'm about to make way for Estonian Vice Captain Tim Filer, who's going to join the commentary team. There you go, Parko.
Thanks, Stu. There's a reason why commentary / 12th man isn't the common pairing of choice, but that was a terrific shot there. Not not quite a ramp. What do you call it? That one's not working, mate. So we'll share this one.
Can no one hear me?
No, we'll just share this one.
That was a ramp shot, I guess.
Yeah.
A very nice one as well.
So I think Matey might be just about nudging up to his half century. Partikar continues. It's full, but it's near the block hole, and that's where he is so very dangerous. Batsmen think about 2, elect against it. So Tim, tell us how are things out on field 1, Estonia, Lithuania this morning for you?
I don't know, Stu may have covered it, but it was a comprehensive win. I was very, very happy to be out there because we just looked brilliant, like the backing up, the throw-in, running between the wickets, and you know, we said that when we got 190, we wanted to have the car in again. Oi, a bit of pepper on that actually. He's got a yard of pace. Yeah, he is. Money's looked quite good behind the stumps as well.
Yeah, very tight.
No, we looked like for our first game out, we looked really good, like proper professional setup. So there wasn't much to improve on. We wanted to get 200, a little push into the covers, or we come back for 2. Go back, great. Whoa, correct end behind your stumps. Good running by Latvia in the end. No, it was good. We looked excellent, and I think the only thing we needed to probably are running between the wickets. We probably left about 10 runs out there. We could have got a few more, but otherwise good.
We were saying in commentary earlier, it's a bit of a malaise that goes through the Estonian domestic competition. There's a lot of big hitting boys who think if they're hitting 4s and 6s, they don't have to do the little ones. And we did see in the Estonian A innings a few quick singles turned down. So whereas Latvia are really pushing every run. Matey and earlier his fellow spin partner in crime were absolutely herring between the stumps. So 5 overs to go. 30 balls, 32 runs to get. So run a ball. They've stayed pretty consistently around the 6-7 run a ball, runs required. So who's this? It's Shuvo to continue. Short, slapped away, but it's straight at the man, so just the single. Calls for 2, but I think Biswajit has already seen enough of that.
Sorry, I was just trying to get the other one working while I'm getting the kebab out of my face. But no, the batsmen here look very good. I'm pretty impressed with the Latvians. There you go. Nice little push into the covers. That's a good fielding position. There's another one of my frustrations that cover, extra cover, they always stand back on the circle, but that's the correct place for me. I like that. He's coming in as well, walking in. Yeah, nice. Getting the batsman's eye line. Beautiful. Nice bowling by Shuvo.
2 dots.
Yeah, no, good. Dots are valuable. So what's the equation? 112 off 15? Oh, it's still very winnable from both teams. Yeah. A couple of wickets though, we're good. Yeah, we'll bowl. Yeah, oh.
Almost stops it off his own fielding there, Shuvo, but it comes off the hard part of the palm and bounces high for a single.
Yep, he knows he could have stopped that as well. On every run now, every single run is valuable. I do see a couple of fielders on the edge of the circle, which I think they're a little bit too deep. That's a massive one. Get it. Oi.
So that's the way to bring your 50 up. Matey smashes that down the ground, 50 up. Fielder scampering around, but couldn't quite cut it off. Can't quite tell. Is that?
I think that's Udi out there. I think
it's Udayan, is it?
Yeah, and that's to be honest with you, that's awful fielding at this stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at this stage of the game, you know, trying to stop it with your shin is not good.
Oh, big edge, but gets away. Rifa cuts it off. Should keep it to a single. So a bit tidier there.
Yeah.
Not sure if he's in the full length jeggings there, Rifa. It's quite the fashion.
Some very tight fitting clothes out there, that's it. Yeah.
So marginally better than a runner ball. So I think 7 off 6.
So was it the equation 26 off 24? Is it? No, 25 off 24 now. So Latvia should just walk this in, really. They need to keep pushing it around and the occasional 4 ball, but Barthakard's he's bowling really well. He's bowling a nice off stump line. It's very nice.
As you say though, if we look back at that last over, if that 4 turns into a 2, then it's 5 off the over. And you think, okay, well that's win Estonia A. But it's 7 off the over, and suddenly it's win Latvia. So very, very tight margins here. Oh, dot ball. Great start from Parta.
Yeah, so that's the line that he's just been bowling, which is really nice. It's coming through nicely. It's about Moni's gloves. Doesn't have to move. Very impressive Parta here. Short. So, yeah, really nice fielding. That's a run out.
Oh, that's...
Always get your stumps. Yeah, there you go. The fielder just uttered exactly the same words I would have as well.
So Partakar guilty, good bowling, but poor fielding for himself. He had a run out there if he'd been behind the stumps. A very, very fine throw in from Zishan Ali. He's the pick of the fielders out there.
Riff Raff needs to be walking in there. So we're down now to 22 off 21, I think. I don't know. Anyway, run a ball basically, and it will be till the end in case they boom a couple of big ones.
Oh, that one's gone very, very high. It is the skipper underneath it. Oh, dearie me. Oh.
Scotty! That could have been the game.
Who was that? It was Biswadjit on strike. So at least it wasn't the danger man,
No,
but he'd want to
wickets.
take that.
You want to open the game.
It did go incredibly high.
I think, yeah, no need to say anything to Crossy. He knows. So.
I certainly don't suggest saying
No,
it to
I
Crossy
wouldn't,
after the game.
But he's tidy over by Partha, yeah? He's not bowling one short ball, but the rest has been full, which is good.
Don't want to keep reflecting on it, but I think Tim Cross is cursed on this oval when it comes to catching. But,
it's not easy being captain.
Not easy being English, is it?
It's pretty tough. Especially a sportsman.
Partakar continues,
yeah.
and that's nicely driven down the ground. Just the single again. Do they look for 2? Matey's always
Get it in
looking.
the air, get it in the air. Don't stand there holding it. So Abbas on 58 and Moha Parker on 5. 20 off 3 overs. 19 off 3 overs, I think, so very doable.
Yep, so another 6 run over there. Still very, very tight.
Bookie's favourite will have to be the Latvians, though, I think.
As we said, so long as Matey's out there, he should be able to steer this home. He's been the pick cumulatively with bat and bowl so far. So we might have a ball change coming up. Andreas Burgert is bringing the match ball over. Andres. And we might have a look at one of these replacement balls. None of them look too flash. That might be a pick of the ones. What do you reckon? No one any better?
First innings ball, I guess. Yeah, this one. Yes.
Yeah. So ball change, 3 overs to go. The seam coming apart on, I won't mention the name and don't want to link their brand with seams coming apart 17 overs into a game. But yeah, so the umpires decided to change the ball. English company, I believe.
Well, it's not a Estonian company, is it?
So 19 runs, 18 balls. Very, very tight, as it has been the entire game. Latvian run rate just above 7 and the required run rate just above 6. So they've turned that in their favour about 12 overs into the innings. The run rate was always chasing required run rate. Now that's tipped round a bit. We haven't seen much of Biswadjit, but he's doing his role. He just needs to circulate things and get Mehdi in the action. Big over here from Shuvo. He's 0 for 19. He continues. Wow, that's a terrific catch from Udayan in the deep. I'll be frankly honest with you, the body language didn't look great, but he's taken that clean as a whistle. So Biswadjit goes, he holds out in the deep, he's just a little bit toey on that, leaning back, skies it a bit higher than he perhaps wanted. That's a terrific catch. So Shuvo, first ball wicket, pressure on the new batsman.
Batsman?
Question for you, Tim, tactics wise. Do you look for the wicket of the new batsman, or do you try and just pin him up with dot balls?
The dot balls. The secret now is restrict the runs, and if you restrict the runs, they're going to play silly shots. So I would say get around the new batsman and just don't let him off strike. To be honest, just choke him. And if you bowl a terrible ball, then that's your fault. But I mean, if you're talking tactics over skill, then yeah, definitely don't let the batsman off strike. But that was a beautiful catch by Udi. That was very well positioned, good technique.
Now very well positioned.
He's very well.
So,
So, yeah.
If it comes down to an absolute nail biter, we might have to send someone over to tell him to move out of the way.
Oh, he's got that one backward. That's 4 runs all the way. Yep. That's a great get-out shot. It's that first ball as well by Fawad, the new batsman. Well, there you go. So swinging both ways again. Could call this game Richard.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey Stu, do you want to tell Diane to get out of the way? He's standing directly in front of the camera. Yeah.
That's what you're allowed to when you get catches like that. Yeah. So Shuvo in again, nice and full this time, down the ground. Yeah, well fielded, no, and well backed up. Yeah, I'm impressed with old mate. His name will come to me in a minute, but yeah, the fielding in close there is great. So it's Vimond, is it?
It's Bijan in close.
Bijan, sorry, yeah.
There's a couple of very, very handy arms. That arm from Pranay from the boundary was very nice, and Zishan Ali's been fielding terrifically well. Priyank also a good fielder. So there's decent arms on the boundary. That's a great dot for Shuvo. He is good at mixing his pace. Tell you what, this is one of those games we're quite glad to be 12th man actually. I don't reckon I fancy bowling it over about now.
Nail biter.
Yeah. Shuv comes in and you gave him the pump up.
I gave him the commentator's curse, yeah. But no, he was in the right position, you know. That had he got his hands on that cleanly, that's a run out, or a dot ball. But had he been standing back on the circle, it's a single anyway. So yeah, he's all right.
Shuvo continues. That's full, and it is slapped away, and there's no one there. So that's a disappointment. You won't be happy with that. He's a better bowler and a more experienced bowler than that to rank full toss at the death. Might have been a slow ball. He does vary his pace a lot, and sometimes they slip out of the hand. So disappointment there, but still chances here. What's the equation now? I think it's 9 off 12. So 10 off that over, you'd have to say Latvia in the driver's chair, 2 overs, 9 runs. So I imagine we'd return to the strike bowlers. So it'll be Priyank and Pranay to close out, 1 over each from the opening bowlers employed by Estonia A today. So Priyank in, and it's driven down the ground. Just the single. Hang on, I think we've lost visuals here. I've lost internet as well. I'm not sure what's happening. So, not sure what's happening here. We've got a spinning beach ball of death on the computer. just reboot that. But hopefully, if the audio commentary is at least on, I will continue to talk you through this one. So that one is clipped away to cow corner, and that's a run out. Terrific throw from Zeshan Ali, and the new batsman in is caught short.
Be interesting to get a replay on that.
So Mady, the batsman, is signalling. I think he's asking to kind of handpick the batsman that he wants to go out there with him. So I imagine he's picking the quickest guy in the team because he's a whippet between the stumps, and he's just run out the new man.
So it looks like we're good.
Okay.
It looks like.
So we've got vision, we got audio, we just don't have
looks
laptop.
like our laptop is no good.
Good, because it's too good a game to have that.
So who's your crowns on now?
Oh, you're gonna have to do the maths for me, Tim. If I've lost my laptop and I can't tell the numbers. Look, your money's on Mady.
8 off 11.
Yep. 8 off 11.
8 off 11 needed.
Okay, so 8 off 11. I'll get my fingers and toes out and count them. Old school from here. Oh, slow ball from Priyank, full toss. Mady puts it away, and that finds the rope. So a fine stroke from Mady, and he punches the fist in celebration. I think he knows that might be the ball game.
We had a game like this the other day, and the Tallinn Hippos managed to lose 5 wickets for a run when we needed 2 runs to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's never say never.
It was mind-blowing just to watch that.
Yeah.
What did you say in commentary that day, Tim?
Don't know, but this is the first time I've been allowed back on the mic. So lost for words. Yeah, that's how we said.
I think it was, 5 wickets in hand and about 6 runs to get, and he said something like, the cakewalk from here or something like that.
5 wickets in hand, 2 wickets to get. 5 wickets in hand, 2 runs to get. Yeah. Anyway, so a bit of mind games here by the Latvian batsman, gripping his bat with 3 runs to win. I think. So, there you go. They'll have a shoelace break in a minute. We had a couple down.
We've already put a shout out for a Velcro sponsor. But Mady is definitely
screen's back.
decided that he wants to dictate the tempo of this game. The game will happen when he's ready, not the bowler, irrespective of what the rules might say. But he's back in, and that is a very chancy shot, you'd say. Doesn't quite get the boundary, so forced to come back for the 2. That's good. You wouldn't want to finish a game with that, but he has done very, very well. He's been the standout batsman for Latvia, and an incredible strike rate there, 69 or 40.
120 strike rate or something. Is it?
Priyank continues. And he advances, and a little bit casual that, but end of the over. So we go to the final over.
The final over, is it?
Yep, and we'll see what the new batsman has.
What's the how was the 1 run off 6 balls. Ooh.
But new batsman, opening bowler,
4 wickets.
Well, I'd say just dots.
Don't bowl.
Moving ball outside off stump. If he doesn't get hold of it, 1 dot might bring 2 dots. Pressure creeps up. Harsh is the new batsman, so as we saw from the Latvian innings, a quite experienced opening bowler. Seemed to have a good cricket head on his shoulders, so he should be able to navigate this situation.
Wicket first ball.
Oh,
or a 6.
close.
Yes.
Right, so
There you go. I'd say that's pretty comprehensive by Latvia. I think it's very good. Good performance by Estonia A to push them, but 4 wickets in hand and an over left, so that's pretty well done.
I'd take exception to comprehensive, but yeah, it was
Sorry,
very,
maybe not
very
comprehensive.
very much in their control.
Controlled is the word I'm looking for.
So we've seen the first two games of the 2021 Baltic Cup. It's Latvia who emerges victorious over Estonia A on ground 2, and Estonia who victorious over Lithuania on ground 1. A comprehensive result for Estonia, putting an early marker in the competition against Lithuania with both bat and ball. Much tighter affair on ground 2. Very, very keenly contested match, and it comes down to the final over. But a very, very nice performance from Mady, who receives the hugs and embraces of his teammates. He has got them home there, the number 3 batsman. So very, very well done for him. I think that's just about us. All from here, from Tiskra. So day 1 of the Baltic Cup concludes, but we have much more action tomorrow. 4 more games, both teams, all 4 teams with 2 games left to play, a round robin, much more to come. And I tell you what, Latvia versus Estonia, the main team, will be a game to watch. So a fine performance here, and do join us again tomorrow.